All right, y'all, it's been a minute, but I am back again, and I got something a little bit different for y'all this time around. And this is going to be a first and hopefully a series of videos that I'd like to get into. And well, this is going to be called The Breakdown of Philia. And what is Philia? Well, Philia is, of course, what we would call the love between friends and their family members, occurring between both people when they share the same values and they have the utmost respect for each other. Think of the city Philadelphia. That's where that city gets its name. I was inspired by this concept a while back when I dropped the Godfather 2 review. So it's been a minute, and I should have had this out a long time ago. I was hinting at it, but excuses aside, it's here today. And the story that I wanted to break down was the story of Avon Barksdale and, of course, Stringer Bell. Of course, from one of my favorite shows. I know a lot of y'all out there love it, The Wire. Now, what I plan to do with this series is to break down, a little bit of the come up between these two friends or family members, and also, but really focus on how they broke apart and the ramifications of all that, and how this de-evolution of a relationship led to maybe a demise, a death, or anything of that matter. So, if you like what you saw today, please be sure to leave me that like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Please share this. If you would like, please leave any suggestions in the comments. We can talk about different relationships, different friendships, or even different forms of love. So, romantic love. Maybe we can do something about that. It's all about, what y'all like and what y'all into. And I'll take a look at, how y'all look at this one and what the viewership is like, and I'll make a decision. But, with all that being said, I'll leave my link to my social media within the description of the video. Let's go ahead and get into all this.
Us, motherfucker. Us, man.
Avon and String go all the way back to when they were kids, and their journey together would see them become two of the top drug kingpins in all of Baltimore. So you could look at Avon pretty much as a CEO, and he would call all the shots. And as a right hand man, String, he would oversee the day to day businesses, the illegal and the legitimate. And for the most part, they would stay out the way of the police. They would do their business out the Franklin Towers and also, another set of projects known as the Pit. They had, big time hitmen like Weebay and Stinkum. They had supervisors like Ronnie Moe and D'Angelo, Avon's, little nephew. They also had some outside help. Avon's sister Brianna. They also had a lawyer by the name of Maurice Levy on the team. And they ran the hood pretty much with an iron fist. They would pay off certain witnesses. They would execute others like, William Gantt. And it just, played out that way. Now, despite the raids and the seizures by the Baltimore police, there was also a beef with, Omar. You know what that was about? Of course, they had to do his boyfriend Brandon in, and, of course, he was robbing them. You know how that go. But, they would pretty much, hold on to their situation and keep things held down. Now, you would see somewhat of a difference in the way kind of their mentality all the way going back into season one in a way. Somewhat of a smaller fracture. Nothing really to look at right away, but just in a dealing with Omar, right? Now what sparked this beef with Omar, like I said, they did his boyfriend at the time, Brandon, in. They ended up torturing him really bad. They also shot another one of his associates, right? And this was after, of course, he had robbed him a couple times. And your boy Avon was willing to turn the whole West Side, down just to get after that one guy, but it was, kind of causing some friction with, Bell, because he was seeing, a lot of, bodies stacking up. Again, Avon was losing some people, and just in general was causing a lot of heat. You know what I'm saying? So he wanted to kind of curtail that. So you already kind of see somewhat of a difference in the mindset right then. Avon is like, nah, we got to push forward. We got to go put the foot down. And, Bell is like, nah, take a step back. And you already kind of see that, whoa, wow, there's a little bit of a pushback right there. But eventually, Avon would kind of step back. And again, Omar would kind of, find himself out of town for a minute, right? Now, there will be some more drama starting around the time when Orlando, one of the owners for one of the Barksdale front businesses, of course, a little strip club on the west side of town, he gets caught up with some state police trying to run a little interference with the coke, right? And he decides, instead of taking it on the sword, he decided he wanted to cooperate. And, of course, Avon and them, Levy, all those guys, they catch wind of that.
You wanted to be in the game,
they decide
right?
they was going to set Orlando up.
Now you're in the game.
What they didn't know was that they would shoot a cop as well. Now, this would bring some, big, drama, of course. Of course, now you got the city looking for y'all now because y'all done shot a cop, right? So there's a massive crackdown. Now, Avon and a couple of his hitters like Weebay, they would both go down. He would have to serve some time, but since he had a virtually clean record, he hadn't been caught up for anything, at least until that time. He got a relatively life sentence. However, your boy Weebay, he got axed for killing that cop, so he was never gonna get out. But again, season 1 ends with them pretty much kind of on top. They still in a position, albeit, with Bell at the helm. And things seem to be still kind of going right. Now, in season 2, more cracks will begin to show. While in prison, Barksdale will set up a CEO with a tainted package which will help him get an earlier release date. However, with him off the block, Stringer will begin to call shots behind his back. One of those being a deal with Prop Joe, an East Side dealer. Now, part of this deal would be in order to receive product, Barksdale's crew would have to give up primary territory on the west side. Now, this is something that Avon was never willing to commit to. Now, of course, Bell would have to operate behind his back. Now, this would start up a whole bunch of confusion with Avon hearing about people from the east side taking over his block. So, of course, he would have to bring in the big guns, the enforcer, Brother Mouzone, out of New York City. Now, since Mouzone is standing in the way of his business, Bell would set him up by putting his name out there as the killer of Omar's ex-boyfriend. Now, this would lead to their confrontation and lead to Brother Mouzone getting shot. Also, while Avon's locked up, we see Bell set up the execution of his nephew, D'Angelo. Again, out-of-pocket move called from the shadows.
Who the fuck is Marlo? He tied to one of the mobs?
Young boy, running on his own too. Got maybe 15 spots on.
I'm just a gangster, I suppose. And I want my corners.
We passed that run and gun shit, man. Like, we finance a package and we ain't gotta see nothing but bank.
Not to steal a badminton set. What you gonna do with a fucking net and a racket? Hey, we ain't got no yard. You like, yo, that white boy.
As I mentioned before, Avon was for the block. He was really big on his reputation. And this is why he was willing to turn over every stone in the city to find that man Omar, and he really wasn't trying to ride with Prop Joe. He felt that that deal would make his crew look soft, right? Now, with that being said, he wasn't a big fan of Stringer's for-profit mindset as well. He felt it lacked the character and even the fortitude to be a part of the mob, right? He would even go on to question his business acumen, and we know why. To him, the streets was the streets. But in reality, the streets might have been a little bit too much for him. D'Angelo, as much as we want to love him and hold a soft spot for him because of, our empathy for him, he was really going to snitch. And there was nothing Avon was willing to do about it. Now, despite having a couple of his hitters knocked off by, Omar and being robbed by him a few times, he couldn't get the best of him either. He could not scare off Marlo either. Marlo will become the kingpin of the West Side by the end of season 3. And with all that being said, for all the vendetta that he wanted and the war and the drama he wanted, had he would have kept pushing that, they would have lost their connect in the first place. So there would have been no product. So the corners wouldn't have even mattered. Now, Stringer, he would have a point with the bodies bringing the heat in terms of the police and also having those insulated operations. We would see through season 1 and 2 that, Avon and Stringer were virtually untouchable. And many of the higher members, of their crew were essentially untouchable till certain things kind of happened, right? They were being sloppy. Now, with that being said, his underhanded dealings would do him in. His plots would burn all types of bridges. Now, mind you, there was an issue with D'Angelo. He went about it behind, Avon's back. That's a no-go. Same thing with the whole Prop Joe deal to begin with. He initiated all that behind Avon's back. Also got, Brother Mouzone caught in the line of fire because he's operating in the shadows. All that shit, that ain't gonna fly. He also was really dirty for, messing with D'Angelo's girl while he was locked up. Really shiesty on top of that. But again, he would be too smart for his own good and would be constantly played by his contractors and his legitimate businesses. And, even Clay Davis.
He rain major.
Right?
A
Got
guy
him
says
so
if you
good,
pay
even
him,
his
he can
lawyer
make it
had to
rain.
laugh at him.
You pay him.
Humiliating.
If and when it rains, he takes the credit.
We all
If
saw
and when
what
it
happened to
doesn't,
him in the very
he
end.
finds reasons for you to pay him more.
And the
Clay
cold
Davis
part
rain
is,
major.
in the
No,
very
man,
end,
he got-
they will see the truth in each of their point of views. And they will really start to say, oh man, he was right. Ain't that part cold? Now, could these, two viewpoints, however opposite, could they have been combined? Could things have been different? Well, I think for the longest time, in a way, they were combined. They were doing the necessary things to make things work, but, things got out of hand. Particularly when, Avon got serious about the Omar situation and the Marlo situation. And then you have, again, we mentioned Bell playing different moves behind everybody's back. That creates distrust, that sows dishonesty. Him being about business would not have been that much of a problem if he wasn't being such an underhanded motherfucker about it. And Avon, protecting what's his and going about, handling those things, that's fine too, but you don't ever get carried away to the point where, hey, the main way you're going to make money is going to be jeopardized. So, could they have been combined? They already were in a way, but certain, extreme situations brought out the worst in each other, in those two guys. And you saw it happening. We all saw it happening throughout the course, at least the first, really the season 1 and then season 3, right? So, could things have ended different? There's a possibility, but I don't think we're having just a issue of difference of opinion. There's also some ego here. There was also a lot of ego behind what both of them did. So could they have even come to the point and said, I'm wrong, my bad, let's take it to this step, let's see what we can do, let's take it back a bit? I don't think so. I think not only were they coming from a different point of view, again, their own egos had got the best of them at certain points as well. So there was no real going back. There was no real understanding at that point. And in this line of work, in their line of work, this is what happened when the love of brothers is gone. Alright, y'all, if you like what you guys saw today, please be sure to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I'm trying to come out with as much genuine content as I can. Again, if you like this one, please be sure to give me those watches, those likes, all that watches. What do I don't mean it like, whatever. You know what I mean. Give me those views. Help a brother out. I'll make some more of this, some more whatever, some more review. We talking about sports, politics, whatever y'all like. We're going to get into it. This is your boy, El Jamal. I'll be leaving my links to my social media in the description for the video. Again, if anybody hasn't told you yet, peace out, one love, and I'll holler at you guys later.